It Takes Two, and we've got two tonight for tonight's great debate on cloning. As you know, the Bush administration opposes all forms of cloning. The American Medical Association this week said cloning for research purposes only is okay. Here to debate the topic tonight, Dr. Panos Zavos, who is director of the Andrology Institute of America, and Judy Brown, president of the American Life League. Judy, let me start with you. I've had, over the years, many friends, family members who have died early, ugly, unfortunate deaths from Parkinson's, from ALS, from cancer, other horrible diseases. If, as doctors tell us, cloning holds the key to a cure for those diseases and saving lives, how can we reject it? How can we say no?
We can say no because human cloning in and of itself is a very unethical practice. And we cannot use a compassionate argument on one end of life's spectrum to defend at the other end of life's spectrum the absolute destruction of human beings. Human clones are human beings. And what the American Medical Association has done is defined falsely and with bogus attitudes a difference in the types of cloning as if there truly were a difference when in fact there is no difference. Human cloning is an immoral act that results in the death of a human being. And under no circumstance may we kill one person for the sake of another, even though the circumstances of that other person are quite tragic. It is never right to kill one person for the sake of possibly treating another person who has a dreadful disease.
Dr. Zavos, isn't this true that what cloning does, it creates a very tiny human being, and when you make a number of clones of individuals, what you're doing is farming human beings for their spare parts, and once you take away the spare parts, you're destroying them, killing them, and in effect throwing the rest in the garbage can. Isn't it farming human beings?
Well, Pat, by definition, yes. But then, of course, who determines that and how we proceed from here, that's the question. And I think that the world is beginning to realize that we're holding a very powerful technology here, that by creating clone embryos and harvesting their stem cells, we can treat incredible diseases that we were never able to even tackle or understand. No, and therefore, I think that it is immensely important here that the therapeutic cloning technology is developed. Countries like England, Israel, Australia, and many others now are pursuing very aggressively the development of those technologies, and we in America need to take the leadership in this world.
Oh, I couldn't disagree with those statements more. I mean, what we're talking about is practicing utilitarianism by destroying persons for the alleged sake of other persons.
Judy, let me interrupt you. You keep throwing these words around. Look, you can call a pig a goat, but it's still a pig. I mean, human being, an embryo, is not a human being.
Of course,
come on, there is certainly a difference.
Oh, Bill, now, Bill.
A microscopic embryo, dozens of which could fit on the head of a pig.
Now, wait a minute.
Human being.
No. See, you were once one of those little individual human beings who you're now saying we're not.
Being, then. I wasn't
yes, you were. Bill Press was Bill Press at the very moment that Bill Press began, and he was minuscule in size. So was Judy Brown, Dr. Panos, Pat Buchanan. All of us started the same way. And to suggest that because a human being... Why are you sorry? I mean, that's a biological fact.
Don't make a human being.
Oh, yes, they do.
Dr. Zavos in here, please. Dr. Zavos, you used the term harvesting. I mean, and you know, I know that pigs are grown for pig valves. We take the valve out to save life. But aren't you treating real, live human beings like pigs? And isn't that ethically immoral? I mean, when you're harvesting their organs, you're harvesting the organs of live beings. You're harvesting the organs of live human beings.
Organs are living, obviously, parts of a human being. In this particular case, we obviously have made a decision, and the world needs to make this decision, and I think the world is beginning to make that decision. I think legislators like the House of Parliament and others are realizing that this technology is immensely important. Look what we're doing in IVF today. Okay, just for a moment, let me use some statistics so you can understand the level of destruction, if somebody wants to call it that way. Only 30% of human embryos transferred in a human uterus today take and implant and are obviously give rise to a human being. The remaining 70% are destroyed. Now, whether we kill them or they're destroyed naturally or whatever, that's by definition what you're looking for. And therefore, you cannot call that as destruction of human life.
Judy?
This is just
Of
the way
course
it
you
is.
can.
The efficacy is such.
Judy?
Go ahead,
No,
Judy.
it's unethical to intentionally destroy a human being, regardless of what your goal may be, and regardless of how laudable you claim your goal is. The fact of the matter is you may not kill human beings for the sake of whatever your altruistic goal may be.
Judy, don't you have it backwards? I mean, isn't it unethical to have the potential to save millions of lives, to come up with a cure for cancer
No,
or
Bill.
ALS or something, and then to stick your head in the sand and say we're not going to do it because we're going to define two
Bill.
tiny little cells as a human being? That, to me, is unethical.
Oh, Bill. You
Yes.
see, the fact of the matter is that this is not somebody's personal opinion. This is a fact of biological science. It's every human embryologist, if you'd ever have one on your program, would agree with me that a human being begins at the beginning. And to call that human being something else for the sake of some utilitarian goal in life, that is unethical. To deceive the public into believing that this is not macabre science is unethical.
The embryo a human being.
Dr. Zavos, aren't you doing an immoral thing for what you consider a very benign and good end?
Well, not necessarily, because I think that here we're harvesting human cells from a
human
grown
beings.
embryo.
From human beings.
Well, you can. No, I call it
How
human.
can they be
we're
human
not talking
cells
about
if they're
pigs
not a
here.
human being?
And well, those are cells that obviously can save thousands and thousands of lives.
No one knows that.
And therefore, I think that it is worth risking and taking this step, because I think that we're very bold on this one, and I think that the world is realizing that this technology is immensely powerful and can be used to cure diseases that we were never able to cure before.
It's immensely immoral, immensely unethical, and it should be banned, period.
Thank you both.
Well, that's your opinion, and of course, I don't think that your opinion is going to carry for too long.